when it comes to proverbs and thinking about things that are within the oral tradition of our culture, the frequency with which they're used is too much to say it's a coincidence. It's actually part of our language, it's part of our rhythm, it's part of our education and our cultural upbringing. Every mickle. That was something that I heard so much growing up in a Jamaican household. Welcome to Curriculum Conversations with your host, Lavinia Stennett, and today we're going to be talking about proverbs, folklore, and also just the sayings that are passed down through generations. And like for me, growing up, I would be like, here we go again, another one. And another one, because they just didn't end. Like my dad and my mum would just say things, and I'm like, where you get that one from? Like they would just flow with these things that had such profound wisdom. But it's like, because I couldn't get it on the spot in terms of unpicking the meaning of it, I would sit there for hours thinking, what does that mean? And sometimes I wouldn't even think about it. It would just be like something that I heard. And then when I get in a situation, I'm like, I hear my mom's voice or I hear my dad's voice in the background. And it's an important part of our culture, right? Because it's about passing down things that don't need long sermons. Yes, we all used to get lectured at some point. Yeah, when you get disciplined, you get, a long lecture. But sometimes it would just be that one sentence. And when it comes to proverbs and thinking about things that are within the oral tradition of our culture, the frequency with which they're used is too much to say it's a coincidence. It's actually part of our language, it's part of our rhythm, it's part of our education and our cultural upbringing. So it's tied in with so much things. Like you think about different stages of life and death where, there's going to be a saying for this particular circumstance. So even when women are carrying, if a lizard, carrying a baby, that is not a bag, but say a lizard jumps on you, oh, yeah, breed. I'm like, how do you know that? Well, because that is the cultural connotation that experience has. And when I think about our folklore, it's not something that we just make up. Again, it's tied back to nature. It's tied back to the things that happen around us. And that is part of our African identity. Spiritualism was based on the nature around us. It wasn't based off like a theology, I understand. So we come from a culture and cultures that basically explored like situations that could basically go into one sentence, and that one sentence becomes tradition. It becomes something that you pass down into different forms, into different ways. Even when a woman is carrying a baby and you don't know the gender, apparently if you're carrying high, it's a girl. If you're carrying low, it's a boy. And women will swear down that they know the gender of your baby because of these observations. And so it takes me back to a time like before scans, before we had like medical science that was like, super intrusive. We'd be able to actually understand our bodies, understand our systems, understand seasons, understand time in ways that we would not be able to if we were just waiting on Western science today. And so I really find value not only in like folklore, I find value in the sayings, I find value in the proverbs, because they're ways to not only connect with our identities, but also connect back to ways of being that I think sometimes we lose out a little bit of in the West and also in our curriculums, right? So our education is primarily focused on just like skills and knowledge rich information that doesn't always involve our cultural beliefs. And I think just even having the ability to explore these as metaphors, the metaphoric use of such sayings, the metaphoric use of our folklore traditions and ways of expressing the world, I think we could actually find so much rich value there. So I love my culture. I love that my mum and dad always had something to say about every situation in one little sentence. And I think we need to keep that. Like, what is our sayings? What are our sayings as younger people growing up in this tradition? Because we need something to pass on to the youngers. Like, unless, we need to just go back. Let's go back and think about who we are and continue this legacy, because it's way too important for it to die out. We cannot let our culture die out. So make sure you understand the origin of these things, but also you're part of the process of cultivating and cherishing the heritage that we have as people of African descent. This is Curriculum Conversations with your host, Lavinia, and next time we'll be exploring something different. So take care.